Extranjera denuncia gentrificación en Costa Rica, dice que estará colonizado en 10 años, parte 2.
And people who literally have no connection to these lands, they buy their property before even stepping foot on the land. And that's dumb, because also I've seen how some of them have come and they don't even like it here. Because this is the real jungle, and the jungle will humble you. Yes, there are bugs. Yes, there are snakes. Yes, it's hot as fuck. Way hotter than your home country. So these people are just, they're selling a dream. They're selling a fake dream. And the thing is, I have been able to speak to some of these people. And I don't want to say that everyone who's buying the land is innately wrong or evil, because they've been sold a dream. You know, I have neighbors, they were sold a dream. Now they're here. And then they got here and they're noticing the price of other land. And they're like, dang, I feel like I kind of got ripped off on the price of my land. Yeah, you did. And your own people ripped you off. And they're also like seeing how it's not as easy as it looks to live here. They're not even, some of them are not even nature people. It looks real pretty on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. It looked real pretty. And it is very pretty, but it's also real. It's also really the jungle. Yes, there are lots of critters here. There's so much humidity, things mold. So I've witnessed, and then these people don't speak Spanish or English. A few of them speak English, and maybe one speaks Spanish, and he's been translating for the majority. So, and they're coming in masses. So the issue with this is now they're creating their own community, essentially. My whole street is now these people, except for me and like the woman who's the daughter of the man I bought the land from, who's Tika, Costa Rican. Now it's all these Europeans that are moving in that don't even know the land. They're building before even coming and sitting with the land. And I know to them, they think it's so normal. They're like, oh yeah, bought the property, now we're going to start building. And it blows my mind how not connected to mama they are. How naive they are. How much they really just don't care. And they're focused on how they can benefit from this place. And they have no interest in what they can offer to this place. And so the danger with them also coming in these masses, and they don't even speak the language, and they don't have a connection to the land, is naturally they're going to be more comfortable just with each other. They're also bringing their own workers. They're not supporting the locals. I know one or two of them have been hiring some local workers, but most of them are bringing their own workers. They're shipping through containers all of the materials they need to build from Europe. So they're not even buying the things here in Costa Rica. So the thing is, they're literally, by coming here, they're in no way supporting the locals. I mean, yeah, sure, they might go eat in restaurants. That'll support them just a little bit. But overall, they're coming to create their own thing. And they all want to start businesses in tourism. Tourism is the #1 source of income here in Costa Rica. It's the #1 business in Costa Rica, ecotourism, people coming to Costa Rica. That's the main way anyone makes money. To give you some perspective, people, when they work a job here, they're making about $2, $3 an hour. So this is the level of like finances that the locals have. So now these people are coming and they want to build hotels. They want to build restaurants. They want to build cabins and all kinds of different things to offer so that they can make money. And their goal, because I'm talking to these people, I'm hearing what they're saying. Their goal is to get rich here. They want to come here and get rich. And and also by starting these businesses and cutting out the Costa Ricans, they are cutting away from their business. Now, when we get European tourism, they might choose the European tour companies or hotels or restaurants rather than supporting the locals who are just getting by a thread right now. This is a very small town. We don't have tourism all year. We have tourism about 3 to 4 months out of the year. And then the rest of the year is actually quite quiet, which they don't know that because they don't fucking live here. They don't know anything. They just show up and they're trying to start something without even taking time to see what the environment is like, without even taking time to witness and see, okay, how can I be of service in this place? What do I have to offer this place that supports this place? No, instead they're saying, what can I gain from this place? What can I exploit? What can I take out of this place? And they're cutting out the local people who've been here for generations. So this is the colonization that's happening in Costa Rica. It's starting in my town more and more. This is a very rural town. And I've talked to people who've lived here for 30 plus years, 50 plus years. And they've told me how in the last 5 years, this place has developed more than it did in the last 20 years. That's the other problem. They're building so fast. One of the main things you learn living in the jungle, living in a rural town, is to slow down. Slow living is the best living. You need to stay in a place for at least a year just to see, okay, what does the nature do? What animals live in these trees? Where does the sun rise and set? Okay, we get a lot of rain during rainy season, and then we have dry season. So if you come during dry season, you have no idea what it looks like in rainy season. In rainy season, your whole property may flood. So it's like you need to sit with the land and witness the land and see how everything moves before even starting to make these big decisions. This has happened all over Costa Rica. There's a place called Tamarindo, Costa Rica. It's so ugly. I hate it there. The first time I went was maybe 6 years ago, and I immediately didn't like it. It's all just business, 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 business. There's building after building after building, house after house after house. It's so crowded, and there's just so much energy there. And there's other places like that too. And whenever you're in those places, there's also a lot more drugs, alcohol, because those demons, those spirits, they move in, and they start to use all the people. Whenever things get into crowds, that's when you're more likely to experience chaos, because you feel like a little bit more invisible when you're in a crowd. But when you're in a small place like this, everyone sees you, everyone knows you. There's no hiding, and there's no being on nonsense without other people peeping you. Everyone knows me in this town, even people I don't know, because I'm one of very few black people, and it's just so small. Even if they don't know my name, they know me. Every time I meet someone, they're like, oh yeah, I see you all the time. All right, it's a small, small, small place, to give you some perspective.